Hey guys, welcome back to Codecraft with Kevin. In today's video, we are going to create a simple application which manage employees using Spring Boot, Thymeleaf, and Postgres. By the end of this video, you will have a fully function CRUD app where you can add or view and update and delete. Okay, so let's get started. First, let's set up our Spring Boot project using Spring Initializer. As you can see, my Spring Initializer is on, or you can use Terminal or you use IntelliJ. But for my tutorial here, I'm going to use direct I'm done here. Let me just generate the project. Yeah, the project is open. I'm going to drop it in my desktop, within my desktop, inside this folder called Codecraft. You can press it anywhere. I will come and open IntelliJ, and I will go and open the folder inside my desktop, Codecraft. It's called employee. It's here. Just open. So I've opened my project. As you can see, I'm using pom.xml because I selected Marvin. So what I need to do first is to come and arrange here. So I want to give my database name. I want to call it employee DB. Password I will leave secret. Username I will leave user. Then I need to map to this port, the same port. Yes. So then I will go to main resource application properties. I need to make sure I have the data source, everything. I need to make sure I configure them here. Go to spring data source.url. I will use this, but JDB I'm not using MySQL. I'm using PostgreSQL, and the port I'm using is 5. You can come and check it here. 5432. Then the database name, it's called employee DB. Then spring data source username, I have my username this side, which is called my user, and I have spring password data source password as my secret. I think that's the name I give you. No, sorry, my password. Yes, it's my secret. Yeah, my secret. It's secret, not my secret. Yeah. So then we need to select the driver class, which is a Postgres which we are using, and we need to make sure every time we create an entity, like the employee entity, in case there's any change of our entity, we should call the DDL auto to update. You can change it to maybe create. As you can see here, there's create, drop, but me, I'm going with update. So updates, it helps us if there's any necessary changes in my schema. It just updates the database rather than doing any manual things. Okay, so far this is what we have. Codecraft employee. I will just create employee entity here. Entity.employee. So this is our entity class. I will just add it as entity. Then I will also add, what do we need here? We need private, long, ID, string name. We also need email. We also need a phone number for now. Other thing we can just leave phone number. We just make it phone. So then it's complaining here because we need to add the ID. You see that what is complaining here? It's saying that the persistent entity employee should have a primary key. So we need to add a primary key here, ID. Then we need to make it generated value. Strategy, we are going to give it as identity. Generated type, identity. So yeah, now to avoid boilerplate codes, I will just say data all arguments constructor, no argument constructor. Yeah, so we are done with our entity class. We are done with our entity class. So the next thing, we are going to create the repository. We're going to create our repository here. We're going to call it repository.employee repository. The interface. So our interface at this point is going to extend the JPA repository. Then the first thing we do is our class, our employee class, and the ID which we have there, the type is long. So that is our employee class. So we are done here. The next thing now, we need to create our service. So we shall create also the service, employee service. It's just a class. We shall come and annotate it as with a service. Now, so what we need to do here, one, we need to call the repository private employee or private final employee repository. We import it. So it's saying, okay, it's need a constructor. So to avoid constructors, we shall use Lombok. I will call require argument constructor. Yep. So employee. Yeah. So employee. Well, let me try to refactor this. Employee service, employee service, employee service. So second, so we need to have an endpoint for getting all users. Okay, I mean all employees. Public lists employee gets all employee, which shall just return employee repository dot find all. Then we need to get now employee by ID. Okay, public it's going to return an optional of employee gets employee by ID. So that's the ID we are going to pass. Then we say return employee repository dot find by ID. Find by ID. Then we pass our ID there, which is long. The next one we need to create now for saving data, public customer, public employee, save employee, then we have employee, then we return employee repository dot save employee. So now here you can basically actually use whatever you want. Okay, even I don't normally suggest people to use this. Actually here we could have employee DTO, employee DTO. So let's go ahead and create the employee DTO. Employee DTO. Employee, we shall just have DTO here. Employee DTO. Actually, we can change it to a record. You can change it to a record. Then we import it here. Then what we go inside our class and see we have ID, name, and phone number. So we come and say ID string name, string email, string phone number. So go back to our service here. We just say new. New actually employee. Okay, because that's what we need to save. So I will just come and say var employee equal. Okay, at this point we are done creating the part which handle our business logic for our CRUD application, which is employee service. Now the next thing we are going to create is the controller. So the controller to handle the web request in the controller package, which creates at this point we shall just go and create a new controller here. Call it employee controller. It's a class. The first thing we shall do here, we shall notate it as controller at request mapping. We shall just give employees, then private, we're going to call our service final employee service, call it service, then at require arguments constructor from Lombok. So the first endpoint we need to create, okay, the first endpoint is going to be to display our dashboard. So and the same endpoint is the one which is going to show the employees, all employees. So let's start. Just putting here. So we shall start by creating public string. Can call it string. Going to return string. I can call it dashboard, or you can say view on page, whatever you want. So it's going to return what? It's going to return dashboard, or you can call it employee. Let me just change it to employee for making it simple. Employee. Actually, we can call it view on page. Now it's not yet done. So remember this endpoint, this employee here is going to be actually a Spring Thymeleaf templates. Okay, so what we are going to do and also we are going to pass something within, so we need to go and create this page. I will go here for simple thing first, because I've already prepared it. I'll just come and call it employee.html. okay, so now what we are trying to say here, let's give it an endpoint. Let's call it's get mapping. So this get mapping, what we want is, once someone logged into our data, our website, the first thing you need to go to is employee. Okay, then he should be able to see something. You get the point. But in our case, at this point, what we want, we are going to pass all the employees which we have in our database. Okay, do you guys understand there? So that's why I'm saying this employee here, it's a page which is here. So what Spring will do, it will go inside here, and I'm going to show you how to populate shortly. So that's what we are going to do. So let's start working on it. So how are we going to work on it? I've already created a page for it. Let me just add it and we continue from there. Let me just add here. We already have our page. We shall just try to run it. It's creating the container. You can see here. It's trying. Yeah, it has run on 8080. We just come here and say localhost 8080. We should be able. Oh, there's an error. Let's check what's the error. Oh no, we need to call employees. Let's confirm if that is that's what we have. Yes, employees. So we run. Okay, there's an error. Okay, what is it saying? The template may not be. Oh yeah. Oh, employee. Yeah, there's a typo here. There's a typo here, so we need to come and rename this employee. And you see now, if we rename it in the correct, it's going to change here, this underline. Okay, you see, good. Let me run again. Running something. Okay, 8080. Come and run. Good. So this is just employee management system. It's just if we go inside the template, what I added. So this is the template which we are going now to play with. So it's just simple. I use Bootstrap, which I added here inside the CSS. I have also this dashboard CSS, and I have this 2JS file and the templates. So now if we go, it's actually what I did. I copied from Bootstrap. I copied from Bootstrap here. If you go to Bootstrap, there's some templates there. That's why I copied. I just went in the code and I tried to modify some of the there's a dashboard. Actually it was inside, not here, but I think examples. Yeah, themes. Yes, that's where I got it. Actually it's the one. So there was a dashboard. Yeah, this is the one I copy. So what I did here, if we go to live, this is just simple. Like basically it provides everything. So I just copy this, I make it light mode. Yeah, so you can just go and play, but I just remove whatever I don't want. There are those dashboard here. You can just get any you want. You get a point. You can get any you want. Yeah, you can get any you want, or this, whatever you want, and modify it on your own. So this is just a simple one where we are going to if we try to add something, first name Kevin, email kevin@gmail.com, 0702289676. Boom, there's an error, right? Good, because the method not allowed. We don't have that method yet. Okay, we don't have that method. So let's first create the method of getting everything. Okay, so just come and let me just do this. Go here. So this is what is going to display everything we want. But how are we going to do it? Currently, first let's leave this and we create the one for saving something in the database. Okay, after making the post, then we can know, oh, okay, so at post mapping public string add employee. So this is one for adding employee. When you add the employee, you want to redirect it to the employee dashboard, okay, to here. So let me actually add at model attributes customer, employee employee DTO employee. So then we come and say service dot create employee. We pass employee DTO. Then as soon as we do that, let me just add something here, redirect to this endpoint. Okay, yeah, so that's what we have. Let's run and see if we can save something in our database, because if we go inside here, it does whatever it wants. Take this here. So let's go back. So refresh the UI, we come here, we say Kevin detail there, save. So there's an error. Let's see what's the error. Oh, okay, let's see what the error is. Okay, let's see what the error is. Employees, this is the one we actually say. It's saying this application has no explicitly for error. Let me see. Let me come here. Let's first see if we save something in our database. I'm using my let's go first to here and we see that, okay, those are the things we need. Come here and say Postgres, what we are using. That username is my user. Password is secret. Database, it's called employee DB. You can test the connection. The connection is successful. Okay. Let's see inside our employees if we have our table. Yes. Wow, so it's inserted things, but when it comes to display, it didn't add anything to display. Sorry, it didn't have anything to display. So let's try it now to add something to display here. So I don't know if you guys so far you understand what we are going to do here. So what we are going to do, we are going to go inside okay, in Thymeleaf, we are going to use Thymeleaf model. This one from spring.ui. Then we are going to add the attribute model dot attribute. Then here you have to be careful, because this attribute here, you are going to use it inside your XML. It's the one which you are going to now say like, okay, this is the data which I have, employees. Okay, then we come here and say service dot get all employees. Then we go, it's called employees. This is what's the data, the attribute which contain the data. I'll go inside the employees HTML. How we are going to display them, it's here. So if you change, it will change. You see, it's no longer see these details here. But if you say employees, but if you say employee there, inside the employees, then inside your controller here, you say maybe, let me put something, let me say data. Then inside here, it will not see data. Which data, Thymeleaf is not going to see it. So that means here also you have to come and change data. You get a point. So we can have that. Let's refresh. Let's refresh there. Okay. Health is checking the health of the project. Good. So we come and we refresh. We have the data. Boom. So that is simple. You come, I will add another person, Alex at x.com 048. Just put dummy phone number. Boom. You see, this is another error. The error comes from here. You see, from here. So after adding it, it goes and try to see, okay, now I need to display this thing, because when we are saving here, we redirect it to employee. Okay, so that means I will just come here and just rename it to employee, and also that I have constant things. So redirect it to employee. Okay, refresh. Oh, you see, okay, sorry, I thought I changed this to employees. That's an endpoint. Employees with double E. Yes, let me rerun it. It's running. Employees. Let me say Elon Musk, Elon at x.com. Elon, Elon at x.com, then 04. Good. You see, it's now adding. So redirection of also, you see how it's redirect here to employees. It's the same thing I've been having here. So basically what you see I've done there. So if I try to go inside the employee, so anyway, there are people who want to add more pages, but in this tutorial what I've done, I've used Bootstrap to simplify everything. You can see this is the model. This is the model which is being used here. The model which has name, phone number, email, phone, employee, and also you see I'm using a jQuery, and I'm also using this. So now for the script for adding employee, it's here, new employee button. Yeah, so everything is here, employee. Yeah, so that's a script there. So then you're going to see somewhere like for me, I discovered this is the easiest way to use Bootstrap. So let's try to add one more person. I always said George, maybe Bush, George at usaids.com. I put the phone number there. I save. So you can see you can add a validation. It depends. I'm just wanted to do that this code. So if you come to edit here, you see it's fetch everything. So how did we do this edit button here? So let me go back and explain from here. So let's go to that link which does that, edit dashboard. Here we are. This is the edit button. So what the edit button does, it goes, you see, it's pick first from the employee because we already have that data display on our UI. So it's come and gets the ID, the name, the phone number, and the email. I mean the phone number and the email. So it get them. As soon as it get them there, then to process the edits, here we are. Here we are. Name, email, the same data the way I'm calling them inside my my entity. Okay, then here we are just showing the model. Boom. And it goes, if we go back here, you see the endpoint, it's called employees. This is the endpoint here. I can't navigate to it, but I can come here. So this is the endpoint, which is employees. Okay, so then if we try to edit, say Kevin, this time is not employee, maybe he has changed his name. His name is James Bond. Boom. James Bonds, but you see there's an issue. If we refresh, rather than editing is adding another person. Who can tell me why? Because we don't have the endpoint. That endpoint, so it creates the endpoint direct. So what we have to do here is create the endpoint which has edit and delete, edits with the ID. So we need to edit a person by ID. So that's what I'm going to do next. Let me create that. But before I create that, I want to make sure we understand where we are. Okay, so where we are, it's now a point where we can now have the data display. We have everything we need there, but now the issue is that our edit endpoint. So that's the one we are going now to make sure we create. So how do we create that edit endpoint of ours? It's simple. We shall go back to the model, to the controller. I will go back to the controller and create that endpoint, because you can see we are missing that endpoint. Actually, it's not there if you see well. So how do we expect it to edit by that ID? So what we need to do is come here and add edit by ID. Okay, so public string updates employee, then what are we updating? If we first try to get mapping, we need to get that by that ID. I'll just call it edit slash ID. We pass the ID which the user is going to pass. Then at this point we are calling it as at path variable long id, then we can redirect it to back to this page. Kevin China Balea. Kevin China. I don't know why we need to troubleshoot this rather than edit password. Delete employee, delete employee, delete endpoint. Do we have deleted? Oh no, we don't have a delete endpoint. So public string delete redirect. So delete mapping, then this endpoint. So let me run. So why you see here in ATM in my employee XML, there's a button for deleting here, and you see that employee delete by ID. So I didn't have that endpoint actually. Delete, yeah, now it's working. If you refresh, nothing. Okay, so we are trying to troubleshoot our delete edit Elon Musk 001. See, is doing this. So we need to check what his Thymeleaf is really doing, because we are doing everything inside here. So you see, it expects actually not the DTO, so it's expecting the employee I mean the entity, not the DTO. So you can see here employee name. So when we come to edit button here, then we go down, edit employee model name, which got from the model app for edit button. If we go inside here, we see we go up here, this one here, which sometimes we hide here. This one, when it's called it's still employee, okay, which has name, email, phone number. So what we need to do here for quick win here, what I will do inside my controller, instead of using model attributes employee, I'll just use the employee which is not the employee which is the entity, but is not a good practice just for now, you know. I'll just remove this and I'll call employee. So that one, let me try to see. Let me try and see, because as you see, everything was inside here. So I try to do it the Bootstrap way. So I'll refresh. We edit this Elon Musk 002 to Elon Musk 002, 001 to 002. We save. Good. Wow, we have fixed it. Let me delete, edit Elon Musk. Let me just have one Elon Musk. You see, even if you refresh, if you go to that database, some of you, let's try to go to that database and see. You can see it's really real time. So when we come Elon Musk, you can see how it has changed. Direct. So basically this it's just the way you build a complete CRUD application with Spring Boot with Thymeleaf. If you found this tutorial helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you will like next.